Welcome back. In front of you, we have something special. These are vintage musclemen from Japan. These are not the domestic USA produced muscle. These are from Japan. How do I know? I bought these from Japan. These are all from a Japanese dealer. I bought a ton of these things about 3 years ago, and I have a few for sale. If you have to have a few specimens for your collection, they're really reasonable. This lot's for sale on my eBay store, and I think there's one more in there. But anyhow, this is just a look through of various Japanese muscle men. These have developed a cult following. When I was a kid, like 5 years old in the 85, I would get these, like the little blister packs. So I had these as a kid. They were fun to play with, and they're fun to collect, just because there's so many. Now I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of all the technicalities of the history, and there's just so much to go through, and there's a lot of channels devoted to that more than mine. So do your research through them. I've seen some of those channels, and it's really helpful. This is just a look through to get you familiar with just some of these characters. Now, the Muscle Man character in the USA, the character catalog, or the character number, I forget off the top of my head. My point is, there's many more characters in the Japanese catalog of Muscle Men. So there's characters you will not see and have not seen before if you have the complete set of muscles in the USA. So, if you have that poster that has all the muscles, these will be new to you. Well, let's just take a look. Now this, obviously, is the elephant in the room. This thing is awesome. I sold a few of these, and this is my last one, which I'm going to keep. This is a substantial chunk of rubber. I love it. Flesh-colored. Bandai, Japan, 1984. I was 4. This is great. I believe these were sold in just like a cellophane bag with a card, you know what I mean, at the top. I always think this guy is Canada guy. These are more flexible. All right, so subjective differences. These are more flexible and squishier than the American released Muscle Men. Now, and obviously the size. The Muscle Men from the USA were like this size. These are much bigger. And then obviously, just for scale comparison, I haven't seen any bigger than this. These are a fun size too, but so are the little ones. So the little ones, now I think the little ones are actually, I think a hair smaller than the US ones, but they're similar. Almost the same scale. But they're more. This is more of a bubblegum pink, and you can see in my hand it's just way more squishy than the US counterpart. This is like the Theater Man. I just give these guys names. They all have names. But, this is great. I haven't looked at these in a very long time. They're fun to collect, obviously. And these are the kind of things you see at vintage toy stores. They're in a jug. They're in a jug right by the checkout, and they're like $5 each. So you do the math that way. Your best bet is to buy a lot on eBay, because that's how you save. You save money that way. That one's got some kind of glue on it or something. Oh, this guy's cool. The ball and chain. You see him in the USA versions. El Capitan. This guy, I think he seems like he's a character from something else. I don't know. Special 99 all the way. He reminds me of a football player, American football. Squishy. There's a little one. Ooh, blindfold guy. The smaller ones are much squishier than this is like a ramen noodle head guy. There's a series of ramen, those instant noodles, and there's a character that has those featured in every rendition. Canada guy, doubles. This guy is great. I had him in the USA version. He was fun. fan favorite tire man. It's kind of like, or a wheel man. It's kind of like a Michelin man. This is great. Ooh, he's fanciful, just oddball, zany. Come on, I love it. I was in Japan once and I loved it. Just full of creativity and off the wallness. You know, it's just great. These toys reflect it. This guy is kind of like a Easter Island head guy. I have a gazillion of screw head man. I mean, I have so many of this guy in various sizes and various nations, from various nations. Who's this guy? This guy reminds me of the cowboy that used to dance in Times Square. I think he used to paint himself silver, or like wear like a silver Speedo or something. He was all jacked up like this, and I think he played guitar in Times Square. He was like a thing. He was like a he was a, not a meme, but he was like a tourist stop in Times Square for like the late 90s. I wonder what happened to him. This guy's cool. He kind of reminds me of Demolition, WWF. I have a lot of him. This guy's kind of cool, like this space age futuristic skeleton. He got his ray gun, hand on his hip. These are Japanese muscle men from the early 80s, all from Japan. None of these are from the US market. The Japanese have a larger catalog of characters, which you're seeing right now. And just, I mean, for collectors and dealers, these markings are good to know, get familiar with, because there are knockoffs of these, and it's a complete rabbit hole. All I can say is just do your homework. Here's another special 99. There's the Japanese terminology and it's just the universes of these things and the sizes. It's too much for me to even. This is just a look through. What you see is what you get. This is like Desert Island Man or something. I don't know. I'm sure you have names. This is like Beethoven meets like Justin Bieber, or maybe Mozart. And that shaggy hair. This is a funny character. I have a lot of that one. These are all from like the early 80s, 83-ish. There's some very, what's the word? Eclectic symbolism, esoteric undertones in these things, which I love. Even as a kid, it was like mysterious. Like, what the heck's all this weird numerical symbols and just, you know, random kind of like words. This guy is like, is this garden hose guy, I think? S. It's a big chunk of rubber. Oh, cool. So these are fun when you're wrestling. You pose them. This guy reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior. Whoa. The pose guys. Those you don't see as much. Here's a little one. Bug head. Some discoloration. There's another Justin Bieber, Beethoven. I tell you what. One more time. Let's see. This guy looks kind of angry. He's got that weird symbol on his head. The mohawk. Wow, this guy is righteous. This is like medieval Iron Maiden. Hell yeah, wow. That's awesome. These designs are great. How much fun would that have been to design these things? A group of people to bounce ideas off of, or just go at it. You know, you have 10 characters each, and then you just have free reign just to do whatever. Man. Martial art guy. Here's a woman. Oh my gosh, this is a historical moment. Now, muscle men, that's just what they're called. You know what I mean? And they're always men or masculine-looking things. Here we have a woman. This got to be valuable. Now, see, here we go. Is she an actual muscle man? Let me see. The markings, sometimes. She looks like a Japanese muscle man. Her scale though is a little bit small. Oh no, she has the markings. Good. Yes, right there. It's official. A female muscle man or woman. It's like an acronym. All right. Is this toilet paper man? Yeah. Look at the toilet paper guy. It's so zany. Oh, this is cool. It's like bug eye. This is a chunk of rubber. These were in a tub on the floor, so they got lint and stuff. That's cool. I think I have a few of those. Hope you're enjoying this look through of these all Japan, Japanese market muscle men. These are various sizes, unreleased in the USA. I purchased these from a Japanese dealer a few years back, a large lot of them. Some are in my store for sale. Others I keep in my collection. What do you think about these things? I think they're fun. And it's nice to have vintage toys that aren't, so expensive. Like if you have to have one, like for example, I'm a generalist collector and a generalist antique and vintage dealer. I don't just collect one type of thing. I don't just buy and sell one type of thing. I collect and sell, vases, porcelain, art, vintage toys, vintage baseball, all kinds of stuff, paper, books. My point is this: if you need to have just one of these for your collection, your type collection, like I gotta have a Japanese muscle man, it's not gonna cost you an arm and a leg. You can get this out the door for under $20 probably, give or take, probably less. So it's fun to have vintage things that aren't always so expensive. We have a double of this guy. You saw that before. This is Roddy Piper. This is like the early 90s. This is me and my brothers. What's he doing in there? This is another lot for sale. So there you go. If you have to have some of these, get this lot right now. That's the horn guy. I think he's like a main guy, and some colored ones. These are all Japan. That's in my eBay store right now. And they're really affordable. This guy we have doubles of. He's angry. Mix it up, mix it up. Oh, this is great. I love this guy. What is this? He is, or she. This is the back. There's some Japanese writing. No, it's the front. What is this? This is something, and I forget what it is, but when I learned what it was, I'm like, oh yeah, what is this? This is a funny toy, isn't it? I'm not sure if this is staining. It's not marker. This may be some reaction just to time. See these esoteric symbols. There's a lot of these characters. The Mohawk. There's probably even a name of this species or whatever. These Mohawked individuals. Oh wow, look at this. Is this like a stiffening? This discoloring. Is this like, I'm trying to compare it if it's like a stiffening. It feels maybe a tad stiffer. You know how like old erasers will kind of get that almost like a freezer bite stiffening on the outside. I'm not sure. Kind of feels kind of like that. This guy is, man, 6 hands. Look out. Look out. Let's look at some smalls. Ball and chain with the ball, the arm, a colorful one. I don't know. It's nice to have choices and variations, and colors are fun. But personally, I prefer the original pink bubblegum ones. The black ones are really cool, and I think that the black ones are collectible. I have a few black ones. I think they're more rare. It's like a werewolf. See, now these are a smaller scale than the U.S. small ones. I don't have a U.S. one to compare it with, but they're smaller, trust me. It's definitely way squishier. This is almost like feels more like an eraser. I don't know. Another one of these guys. See, look at this. Look like this angel, like this star face. Interesting. There's quite a few characters that have like that no face, and they have like a symbol instead. Curious. This guy, the skeleton. It almost looks like Play-Doh. That looks cool, doesn't it? Does he have a symbol on his forehead? Huh. Let's see a yellow one. Who is that? Wow, this is a very tall one. Interesting. It's like double. I don't know. This is quite tall. It's like banana yellow. Yellow. Here's another one of those mohawked things. And yet another. I forget some of the folklore behind these. Like one of these is like the father of someone important, and I forget. There's so much behind it. Who's this? This is another mohawked individual. Yeah, these are, I don't recall a lot of these in the U.S. because a lot of these are not in the U.S. releases, so you won't see these anywhere else but from the Japan. Let's see. Japan releases. Big Hand Man. That blue is great. The night. This blue looks really good. It's like a matte blue. It's kind of vibrant enough to pop. Okay. This is like what? Snakehead guy? I gotta be careful. I keep these like in a semi-clear Tupperware tub, and maybe that's what's happening. The light's leaking through because these will sit in the same position for a couple years. They're sitting there for like a couple years. If the sun's hitting the same spot, the same every day for a few years, it will. I'm sure it's gonna discolor it. What does that say? Special. See, this is a much smaller one. This is a different scale. It's a smaller one. Who's this? No head guy? Gotta love it. See, now look at this scale. This is a different scale. I love what I bought. I mean, I just love having this just potpourri of Japanese muscle to, at my leisure. For comparisons and just to see what's out there, because this doesn't have those markings like the other ones do, and it's off. It's bigger. It stands out, the scale. Who's this? I caught a fish that big. The star Speedo. That's funny. It's a small one. Hammerhead. See, these are small ones. That's why they filter to the bottom of this antique stoneware bowl, mixing bowl. Oh, look at that. These are really small. Look at this guy. I think it's the last of the larger ones. Plastic Soldier. Let's see. We're getting towards the end. Thanks for sticking around. These are all Japanese muscle men from the early mid-'80s. Japanese market only. They're more squishy, way squishier than the U.S. ones, and various sizes. I think we've seen you before. Is that a hammerhead? No, what is that? I can't tell. Is it like an Elvis hair? No, something's on his head. This is funny. Turbo. Once again. He's got like the built-in fart filter or something. I never got this. Like, he got like a hose going to his underwear, and it goes into his mouth, like into his gas mask. What the hell? And Turbo. This is a really, like, what the 80 turbo is an 80s word. That's one of those 80s words, turbo. But what is this guy all about? Like, what the heck? The tube connected to a Speedo? That's bizarre. What is this? Alright, some warrior. This is an odd color. This doesn't seem like it's a muscle. It is. Huh. It's like a Street Fighter. Mayumi. And then you got some odd esoteric symbol on his head. This is just something behind this. Like, it could be like there could be like a novel behind this one character. That's what we're dealing with here, folks. What is this? Is that American head guy? American flag head guy? Oh, that's rad. I never saw this before. Check it out. See the stars? I'm trying to get a zoom. Let me zoom in. See the stars? The stripes? That is awesome. And this orange is cool. Orange is my favorite color. It's like a carrot. Like an almost rotting carrot, almost orange. I don't see any markings though. It's kind of concerning. I love it. This guy, that blue is so cool. I see this guy in the American versions too. A helmet. Lace up. Man, this is our creature. Oh, cool, another one. American flag headman? Oh no, this is the official one. So I can compare this one to the other one now. Wow, I never took the time to realize it was American flag head guy. This is another one of those snake head guys. That yellow is cool. It reminds me of like ice, like it reminds me of banana ice cream. That guy. Another, okay, so yeah, I have a larger one of him, like this bug eye creature. Getting towards the end. Oh wow, look at this one. It's got like a weapon, arm, hand, and this is kind of bizarre. Interesting. This is an Egyptian pharaoh fighter. Japanese muscleman. That one's in good condition. That was a fun, when I got all these from Japan, I was really excited, and they came in a bag, and I just threw them all in the bathtub and washed them, just because, you know, they're like dusty or whatever. So I just like, let me just get this done. You know, it was like a family event. You know, like some families will, you know, like go out and pick apples. We will wash the Japanese musclemen together, and you got to pat them dry. You know what I mean? Categorize them, and then look at them, and look at this guy. So that's what I did a couple years ago, and it's been fun. My kids got a bunch of these. I sold a bunch, and I still have a bunch. So it's kind of like it's like, you know, it's the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. Oh, that's cool. This is like a camera guy. I think I have there's some junk in here. I have a bigger one of him. This is a good one. I like a yellow. It's like French's mustard yellow. Like American mustard. I like Dijon or like that grainy mustard more sometimes. But sometimes that like American yellow mustard is like the right thing. Here's that Canadian guy. That's a cool green. He looks friendly. We got another one of those. The orange is cool. This is some kind of lizard bug, something. Bughead Man. We have a double. We've seen you before. Very light pink. Again, the more the more you buy, the cheaper they get. I forget how much I bought these for, but I mean, if you go to the store, like a vintage toy store, they're $5 each. You do the math. I mean, what you do, 5 for 20, or do you spend $100 and get like a bag full? So sometimes it's just worth being patient. Saving a little bit of money if you need to, and then just kind of like just being a sniper on eBay, waiting for like the And I know it's hard, if you're like me, a collector that yearns for certain things to complete collections or to talk about or to muse on or whatever. But if you wait, oh cool, another U.S. flag head guy. But if you wait, you'll usually save a lot of money, and you'll be, yes, EJ was right, and you'll be so happy you saved money. Look at this. Is that like some kind of defect? It almost looks like a suction cup. How cute would that be? Put on your window. All right, 4 more. There's so many of this guy, like this mummy. There's so many, even in the U.S. market, there's a lot of this guy. This is another one of those snakehead creatures. All right, well, who's the finalist? The yelling skeleton in that banana yellow, and then last but not least, who do we have? Oh wow, that's kind of cool. It's like a diamond head individual. Wow, I like it. It's quite small, very flexible. And that concludes our look at these awesome vintage muscle men from the Japanese market. I hope you've enjoyed that, and as always, thanks for checking in.